Hey guys, we're here dropping hertz tonight. We're going to do some testing. We've got our amp dyno here, and we've got a Shock 2. Get off my phone cord here. Alright, the Shock 2 is on the bench. Got a 2600 watt amp. We've previously tested this. We know that's what it puts out at 1 ohm. Purpose of this test is to see what the amp does. Purpose of this test, we're going to test right now. We have Sky-Hi car audio, 1/0 OFC wire. Is what our first test is going to be using. And as you can see, we just have our bare wire into our power and ground on the amp. After that, we're going to use our 1/0 amp inputs. Insert those on the wire, amp inputs into the amp. See if there's a difference. Again, this was with OFC. After that, just for shits and giggles, I have some CCA here. Y'all can see the Sky-Hi car audio again, twisted 1/0 CCA. And we're going to run the same test again with CCA. Alright, what we're going to do, we're going to hit this amp back to back. We're going to go 10 times. We're not going to take this off a 1 or 2, 3 test. I'm going to hit this amp 10 times back to back to back. And we're going to total it up, and we're going to take the average. See if there's a difference. For our power, I don't know if y'all can see down under there, I have 7 of my excess power S1400s hooked up. You can kind of see that second bus bar, which is our power, is not hooked into our back bank, so only 7 of these are hooked up. I have had these batteries on the charger. Charger was floating, so we're fully topped off. I'm gonna top these batteries off between every run. It's gonna take a little bit of time, but I'm gonna give each method the best chance possible, and we'll get it going. All right, amp is already tuned, and we're gonna use certified mode. Be as hard on this thing as we possibly can. All of our testing is going to be done at 1 ohm as well. See how close I can get y'all in there. Alrighty. We have our dyno ready to go. This is going to be our first test, track 4. There we go. Record this. We have 2389. Get our dyno reset. Alright, dyno's ready to go again. Again, we're hitting this back to back 10 times. We're going to stress the amp, stress the batteries, stress the inputs, see what it does. Alright, 2344, 13.88. Recording all of our data here. It all matters. Dyno's ready to go. Test 3. $364, 13.81. Dyno's reset. Test 4. You can see we're gradually draining our batteries down. We were rested and starting at 14.8, already down 0.4 of a volt. 2354, 0.65. There's our reset. This is test number 5. $23.25. Number 6. Starting to drop now. 22.92. 13.72 again. Amp still fairly cool. Definitely see we're starting to stress our batteries out a little bit. Y'all bear with me through the length of this video. I want to show you everything you're seeing. This isn't going to be edited. I'm just going to tag these clips together and take it straight to the internet. Y'all see everything that I'm doing. A little more there. 23.15. That was test 7. All right. 3 more tests on this method. $22.94. 2 more. $22.40. Last test. $22.84. Alright, that was 10 back-to-back tests. Get some better lighting here for you. Here are our numbers. We're going to total these up, take our average, and then we'll be back with the results and then our next test for our 1-aught inputs. Alright, we're back again. Previous test you just saw was with our 1-aught OFC, and it was with just our bare wire. We've totaled up our test results here. Total of 23,201 watts. Comes out to an average of 2,320 watt, 20.10 watts to be specific. Alright, our next test is going to be, these are our 1-aught to 1-aught inputs. Wire goes into the input, input goes into the amp. By theory, and what everybody's argument is, this is another link in the chain, and this is just going to should cause less power. Because it's an aluminum input, copper wire, whatever. We've got our batteries topped back off, fully charged up, and we're going to run this same test all over again. We're going to do 10 back-to-back tests, certified 1 ohm runs, see what we get. Alright, get our dynos ready to go. Alright, here we go. First test. 2441. Reset. You'll see as we run through these tests, our voltage will gradually drop. This is just battery power. It's test 2. Test 3. Test in. Test 4. Twenty-four, 27. This is test 5. Test 6. Test 7. Test 8. This is test number 9. And finally, this will be test number 10. Okay. These were 10 back-to-back tests using our Shock 2. This is our 1/0 OFC. This time we were using our 1/0 to 1/0 aluminum inputs. Here are our numbers. These were all of our test results you just saw. I'm going to calculate all this and we'll be back with our results. All right, we're back. We just finished our calculations. Get this to see if we can focus in a little bit here. All right, our first 10 test here on the left. This is just with our bare copper wire put into our amp inputs. You can see there we have had a total of 23,201 watts. Average over the 10 test, 2,320.10 watts. Second test, now we're using our 1 aught to 1 aught amp inputs. We have a total 23,759 watts over a course of our 10 test, for an average of 2,375.9 watts. We have a total difference of 55.8 watts. All right, 55 watts over the course of little over 2,300, not a lot. Agreed. Now you can't tell me that these really do they make a huge difference? No, not really. But are they a hindrance? Absolutely not. This people are obviously, you're gonna argue with me. I know this. I've done this as simple as I can. This is why I did 10 tests. This wasn't 1 or 2 times. This is over the course of 10 tests, back to back to back. I'm stressing the parts in the amplifier, stressing my battery bank, dyno, everything. We're putting as much stress on this as possible to just prove a point. See what happens. The numbers don't lie. If you really want to argue this point, then go argue with the guys that make this thing. Argue with Tony DeMore. He knows a lot more about amplifiers and all this than I do. And that's why I'm using his tool, using this amp dyno. These are the best tools I have at my disposal. But the whole point here is these 1 aught to 1 aught amp inputs, they are absolutely not a hindrance. In no way whatsoever did they cause a decrease in performance. This shows you an increase. You can see across my voltages. In some cases, actually held a little bit higher voltage. That's why batteries were for both tests, were fully charged up to a float charge for both tests. Numbers speak for themselves, guys. You may argue with me all you want. These offer a cleaner connection. You know, it's easier. It's easier for you to install these. It takes a little bit of time. You install these on the end of your wire. Easy to insert into the amp. It just makes things faster, easier. Hey, if you don't like them, don't buy them. You're not going to hurt my feelings. But my whole point here is these in no way hurt the performance of your amplifier. They just don't. And again, here are the numbers. Here are the test numbers. You just saw them in this video. And numbers speak for themselves. This is using 1 aught OFC wire. I'll be back later tomorrow and we'll do the same test again using CCA and we'll see what our differences are there.